Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abhishek and in this video we are going to talk about vectors part 2. So if you haven't watched my previous video about vectors, I would highly recommend you to watch that video first and then come back here. So without any much further ado, let's start our today's video. Let's see how we can implement vector. So before implementing vector we need to include the header file. So let's first include header file. So we'll include the header file by writing hashtag include vector, right? Now let's declare the vector. So in order to declare a vector, we would be writing like it will be vector int right p. And now so we have declared an integer vector over here. Now let's at first see the size. So let's see the size. So we can see the size of the vector, that is the number of elements present in the vector, by writing v dot size, right? Now let's also see the capacity. So capacity, right? So the capacity is the number of available spaces, right? Yes, number of elements that we can insert in a vector, right? That's the capacity. Let's see. So if we just run this, so you will find the size is currently 0 and the capacity is also 0 because there is no element present in the vector, right? V. Now let's say that we include we take a vector of 2 size 2 and let's insert 1, right? So now if you see the size, now you'll find the size, and now see the size is increased to 2 while the capacity also increased to 2. Now let's print the vector. So let's print the vector as I goes to 0. This go up to v dot size, right? And I plus plus. We can print the vector by writing like v of I in square brackets. Okay. So if you write like this, right? So now let's run this code. So when you have run this code, you'll find that 1 1 is printed, right? Now let's say that we want to push back, right? So we want to insert an element into the vector. So we can use the insert by using the pushback STL function. Let's put 3 at the back of the vector, right? Let's print this vector. Okay, let's just remove this p over here. So let's run this code. So when you run this code, we'll find that 3 is pushed at the back of the vector, right? Now let's see the size and capacity of the vector. So let's get this size and capacity of the vector. So in this code, so we have currently see the size is 3 but the capacity is 4. So now we can see currently we have 2 elements, right, in our vector, right? But when we have inserted for 3 at the back of the vector, what happens? The capacity got doubled while the size is just increased by 1, right? Because originally we have only 3 elements in our vector, right? So this is how it's happening. Now let's say how we can we can also print this vector by using at, right? If you add right v dot at, right, and if you run this code, you'll find that it's still you can print, right? You're getting the same result, right? Let's say we want to get the front of the vector, right? So if you want to get the front, we'll write print like v dot front, right? That is, it will, and let's also get the back also, right? Now what this will print? The first front will print the 1 and while back will print 3 because here you can see that we have the first element in our vector is 1 while the last element in the vector is 3, right? So it will print 1 and 3. Let's see. Uh, so we can see that 1 and 3 is printed over here, right? Now let's say that 1 and 3 is printed over here. Now let's say that now let's say different ways of printing the vector. Okay, we can we have already discussed one of our way, right? That is by using a for loop. We can also print vector by applying the iterator. So if we write like iterator, okay, and this is like itr, right? And just print the vector. So we'll be requiring itr, right? equals to v dot begin. Now this v dot begin is actually pointing for the first index, right? That is the base address of the vector. Okay. Now you write while itr not equals to v dot end. So now in order to print it, we'll be using cout star of itr, right? Now when we do this, right? Let's see what's getting printed. So if we run this code, you will find. I think there's a problem over here. Let's see where the problem is. Okay, over here it will be ITR. Yeah. See. Yeah. See. Now we have in our output 1, 1, and 3. Now let's see the third way of printing a vector. So what you can do, you can use like for y equals to 0. Okay. Sorry. We will be using this auto, right? So I equals to v dot begin, right? Value of 2, right? I not equals to v dot end, right? And then we'll be using I plus plus. Okay. Let's just print this I over here, star I, and just use a space over here and just print it, right? So now let's run this code. When you run this code, you will see that yeah, 113 is printed, right? We can also reverse a vector, right? So in order to reverse a vector, what we need to just write it in auto. Okay, v dot r of begin, right? Then we will like I not equals to v dot r of end, then I plus plus. Now if you print this, right, you will find that we have got a vector in reverse order, right? So let's save it and run this code. So you will find that we have got a vector in reverse. Now let's say that you want to clear the vector. Yes. So all you need to do is that, but before clearing, let's say we want to pop the elements from the vector. Okay. So you will be using v dot pop back. Now this will pop the element out from the vector, right? So let's print. Okay, let's print our vector. Okay. So you will find that that tree is being popped out from our vector, right? Now let's say that we want to insert a element in the index of 1, right? So we can do this using v dot insert, right? So by using v dot also we need to write like v dot begin, right? So which will be pointing towards the 0th index of the vector. Then we have to increment it by 1 so that it points towards the next index, that is index 1 of the vector. Let's say we want to insert 5 to it. Okay. Now when you insert 5 to it, then the all the other elements like 1 and 3 will be shifted towards the right by 1. Okay. So let's print the vector to see what is our ultimate. So upon printing, we found that yeah, since we have already popped, right, so we can see that 151 is printed, right? Now let's say that we want to delete the first, or say let's say we delete index 1, right, value present in index 1. So what you can do is, what deleting is that we want to use the erase function over here. We can use the begin, right? Begin will be increment by 1. Let's print the vector. So you'll find that that our vector is deleted. So you'll find again 1, 1, right? Now vector content. Now let's say that you want to clear, right? So when you that is going to empty the vector. So when if you use a clear for period clear function and you empty the vector. Now we have to check whether our vector is clear or not. You just write v dot empty. Now this will check whether our vector is clear or not. Okay. So let's see. So you can see that 1 is returned, which means that vector is clear. But let's say that if we print the v dot empty over here, okay, the first line, that is when we created a vector having 2 elements, right? And so if we run this code, we'll find that 0, which means that the vector is not empty right now. Okay. So now Now let's talk about. Now let's declare a query vector. So we need the vector of right int, and let's give a error. Let's create a 2 cross 3 vector. So vector of int 3 let's let we have 5 as elements, right? So in order to print, we like starting from I equal to 0. So in order to get the number of rows, we like a dot size error dot size, right? This will be the number of rows, right? And let's say that we want to, in order to get a number of columns, we will start from j equals to 0, and we will go up to error of I dot size, right? Now this will give me the number of columns, right? Now let's print our array. You will find the error of I comma j. Let's do a space over here. Um, yeah, let's print it right over here. Print it right over here. Let's run this code. So when I run this code, you will find out 555. Then we just give a new line over here so that we can send it better way. So now you can see a 2 cross 3 vector over here, or containing 5. So that's all for today. If you like this video, do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And see you in our next video. Thank you.